Welcome back to Microeconomics class. So we are still on the topic market structure. So in this class, I'll be solving the question on the board. The question says, the diagram below shows the output, cost, and revenue position of the firm producing cake. Study the diagram and answer the questions that follow it. Here is the diagram. On the y-axis here, we have price and cost in dollar. And here on the x-axis, we have outputs. We have outputs, okay? We have outputs in part, okay? Now, we have, for example, say we have 10 parts, we have 40, 60. The price and cost, we have 5, 10, 25, 30. And the first question says, find the firm's equilibrium price and quantity. The second one says, determine the profit. The third one, which is CC, in what market is the firm operating? And the last question says, is the firm in the short run or long run? So all these questions we are going to solve one after the other. Okay. Now let's start with the first one. So solution. Because of this first solution. Okay. So the first question says we should find the firm's equilibrium price and quantity. So whenever you are asked a question like this, the first thing you are going to do is to recall the equilibrium condition. Okay, don't forget the equilibrium condition. Equilibrium. So let me do it here. Solution. So A, say we are asked to find the firm's equilibrium price and quantity. So don't forget we have the equilibrium condition, equilibrium condition of the firm is that MC is equal to MR. That's the firm is equilibrium when MC is equal to MR. So now the next thing after stating the equilibrium condition is to look for the MC curve. This is the MC curve, you can see, and also look for MR curve. This is my MR curve. Look at this MR curve. I look at where the curve intersect. That's where they are intersect. That is where MC is equal to MR. This is MC curve and this is MR curve. So they intersect at this point C. Okay. If I want to know the equilibrium price, I trace that point. From that point, I trace it to the price axis here, which is 10. In other words, the equilibrium price is $10. So, in other words, my equilibrium price, let me just use EP. Equilibrium price is equal to $10. What of equilibrium quantity? The same point equilibrium, I trace it down to the quantity axis. I have equilibrium quantity, which is 40 pounds. Okay, this represents my equilibrium price and this is the equilibrium quantity. So the next question says determine the profit. Determine the profit. So let me do that one here. Determine the profit. So don't forget the profit is equal to TR minus TC. So how do we determine the TR from this function? Don't forget TR is simply price times quantity. Okay, so now what is the price? That the equilibrium price here we got 10 multiplied by the equilibrium quantity, which is 40. So in other words, the equilibrium price multiplied by quantity, that gives us $400. Okay, this represents total revenue. Okay, now also total cost is equal to AC, average cost multiplied by the Q at that level. So what is AC? What is the value of AC? How do I know the value of AC? I take the equilibrium point, the output here, I trace until this dotted line touches the average cost curve. That point represents my average cost. Now, if I trace it up, you can see from the equilibrium to that point where it touches average cost curve. This is average cost curve. So it touches it here, I trace it down to the cost axis here, which is 30. I got 30. That is 30. Average cost is 30 multiplied by my output, equilibrium output, which is 40. Then the answer here is 1,200. Then what is the profit? The profit is TR minus TC. What is my TR? 400. Don't forget dollar. 400 minus 1,200. So in other words, I have my profit as minus $800. So this is loss because it is negative. Whenever you are asked to find the profit and the value you get is negative, that indicates the firm is making a loss. Okay, the firm is making a loss. So the next question, which is question C says, in what market is the firm operating? Okay, how do we know that? In what market is the firm operating? How do I know the market in the firm operating? I only look at the price. If the price is fixed, that means the firm is operating in the perfect market. But if the price is not fixed, so the firm is operating in an imperfect market. Okay, whenever the price is fixed, okay, whenever the price is fixed, so the firm is operating in a perfect market. But when the price is not fixed, the firm is operating in an imperfect market. Look at it here. When the price is fixed, look at here, the price is fixed. Okay, it's $10 throughout. No matter the level output is $10. Okay. Another way of looking at this is that when the demand curve, this is what represents the demand curve. When it is horizontal, so the firm is in a perfect market. So in other words, since the price is fixed, so we say the firm is operating. The firm is operating in a perfect market. Okay, so because the price is fixed, okay, that is constant. So the firm is operating in a perfect market. So the last question says, is the firm in the short run or long run? Is the firm in the short run or long run? How will I know? If you have watched my previous video, I said the firm can make only normal profit in the long run. Other decisions of our normal profit and loss are not possible in the long run. Only normal profit is possible in the long run. Look at here, we do not have the firm making a normal profit. The firm is even making a loss. Therefore, the firm, that is D, this is C, the firm is in the short run. So the firm is not in the long run, it's in the short run. So you can see it's very simple. Don't forget to like the video, drop your comment, and also share the video so that it can benefit others. Thank you. See you in the next video.